her former, her married name was Fedora.
Okay.
You're not married anymore, are you?
Yes, sir.
The court is back in session, and next case we're calling is cause number 323262, and cause number 323284, and cause number 327648. The first two cases are styled the state of Texas versus Elizabeth Renee Brodeur, and the third case is styled the state of Texas versus Elizabeth Renee Osment. Ms. Brodeur, Osment, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. Ms. Brodeur, or Ms. Osment, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir.
That's good. Ms. Brodeur, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. James Padgett. Mr. Padgett, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Padgett, do you waive a record in Ms. Brodeur's and Ms. Osment's cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Brodeur, in cause number 323284, the case is styled the state of Texas versus Elizabeth Renee Brodeur. The information alleges that on or about November 22nd of 2018, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of a controlled substance. Ms. Brodeur, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Brodeur, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, sir.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Ms. Brodeur, I have before me another document. This document is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials, EB, on a line that's next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
And on the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir, yes.
On the next document, which is titled the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir, yes.
There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I did.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Brodeur, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Brodeur, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I just went over with you, did your attorney, Mr. Padgett, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, he did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, it is.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objections to states one, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Padgett, you advised in counsel, Ms. Brodeur. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None, Your Honor.
Ms. Brodeur, your attorney, Mr. Padgett, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir, he has.
Okay, Ms. Brodeur, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for 1 year deferred probation, a $500 fine,
and 80 hours community service. That's to run concurrent with cause number 327648. And the state is dismissing cause number 323262.
That is our understanding, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Brodeur, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this 1 year deferred probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs, in this case, of $467. The total fine and court cost is $967. You'll also be required to pay a $100 fee to reimburse the crime lab. You'll be required to pay a $60 probation fee each month and a $15 urinalysis fee each month.
Your Honor, I will say this, and I've explained that to her. She's currently on a 2-year deferred adjudication in felony court. So she's currently paying the lab fees, and she'll be supervised by the same officer. So I've explained to her that they'll handle that when she gets over there. But he
Okay.
still has to tell you what the fees are here.
Now, the total monthly installments with the fees that's included is $165 a month. Will you be able to pay the $165 a month?
Yes, sir.
Now, there may be some adjustments that will be made concerning the probation fee as well as the urinalysis fee, but the probation department will take care of
Yeah,
that.
because you're not going to have to pay a supervisory fee for every case. You'll pay one an officer or supervisor.
Okay,
But
Ms.
they'll
Bro-
adjust it when you go there.
okay, Ms. Brodeur, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, as well as you will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. This case, the next case, which is cause number 323262, will be dismissed for the plea bargain. And this case will run concurrent with cause number 327648. Ms. Brodeur, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offers in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
Ms. Brodeur, I would defer a finding of guilt and place you on probation for the period of time that I've just mentioned, 1 year, with the plea bargain agreement that you have agreed to. Now, Ms. Brodeur, your next case is cause number 327648. And in this case, the case is styled as State of Texas versus Elizabeth Renee Osment. And Ms. Osment, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about August 6th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Ms. Osment, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Osment, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I plead guilty, sir.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily,
Yes, sir, I am.
and are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir, I am.
Now, Ms. Osment, I have another document before me. This document is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Ms. Osment, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials, EB. I guess that you have Elizabeth Brodeur. Those are your initials that you placed on this document.
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on this document?
Yes, sir, they are.
And is that on the line that's next to a box that's checked guilty?
Yes, sir.
And the next document, well, the same document, next page, you signed, is this your signature?
Yes, sir, it is.
And on the next document, which is a trial court certification, defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Second box states that you are waiving your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I have another document here. This document is titled the discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir, it is.
Now, Ms. Osman, um, these documents that I have just mentioned to you, before you sign them, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, they are.
State, I have before me states exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer states 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No
Any other-
objections to states one, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. And Mr. Paget, in this case, you have advised and counseled Ms. Osment. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand
No, Your
trial?
Honor.
And Ms. Osment, in this case, your attorney, Mr. James Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Osment, I will accept your plea guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial, and I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The agreement is for 1 year deferred probation, a $500 fine. There's no community service on this, but there is a theft class. And that's to run concurrent with cause number 323284. And the state is dismissing cause number 323262.
Ms. Osment, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $307. Total fine and court cost is $807. You also be required to pay your analysis fee of $15. Your total monthly installments in this case is $90. Now, Ms. Osment, will you be able to pay the $90?
Yes.
Now, there may be an adjustment on this case with regards to the analysis fee of $15, which means that the probation officer will adjust it down to like an amount of about $75
Yes, sir.
now per month. Now, you're not required to perform any community service hours in this case. You also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation in this case. And cause number 323262 will be dismissed. You will be, this case will run concurrent with cause number 323284, and you will be required to attend and complete a theft class. Ms. Osment, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Osment, the court is going to defer finding in both your cases. If you successfully complete your probationary periods, your cases will be dismissed. It will not appear in your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney, Mr. Paget, about the non-disclosure. He's quite competent in those matters. Ms. Osment, I will be signing the dismissal in a few seconds. You can stand on the X next to your attorney. You're gonna follow the directions of our court clerk. And once you finish following our clerk's directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
I don't think so, Judge.
Oh,
She'll need to sit back over there.
oh, okay, okay.
So is your right thumbprint?
Right thumb in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I please was guilty in each case.
Okay, so I need you to hold this pen. When she tells you to, you sign on that gold line. You're not gonna see it.
Who's Valdez? Oh, that's Burbank's. Okay.
Well, they'll adjust.
Okay, go ahead and sign for me. It's gonna make me do it twice because of the two last names.
I need to go to the first, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Just imagine you can sign.
You have to alternate the next one?
Sure.
Sign again, Holmes, that's the eyes in it.
Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah, Ms. Osmond, I had misspoken. There's a warrant. I think it's out of felony court.
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna be taken into custody. Just follow the bailiff.
What have you worked for?
It's a felony case.
MTRP.
Motion to revoke probation in your felony case.
But there's been a transfer to Houston, but to my, I gave him a letter of residence and everything, my
I think
probation
it's-
officer said that they were transferring me. Wait a minute, I'm supposed to be transferred.
You could, yeah, you could, your attorney could explain it to you. That's what I see. I see a,
There was just a transfer to Houston, at the living house.